the fundamental problem. The Democratic Party is pernicious and evil because it pretends that this is a zero-sum game and that we have to make a choice between our reproductive freedoms and Palestinian genocide, between standing up for low-income people who are disproportionately Black, getting their heads bashed in and strangled on camera in the United States of America, and defeating Trump, between these voting rights and substantive interests of Black people or a Muslim ban or whatever it is that was being bandied about in 2016 as the reason why we had to vote for Trump, and electing a guy or a woman who had prisoners doing slave labor in the governor's mansion in Arkansas and whose, husband decimated the welfare state. These are not trade-offs. There is a world where we say, yes, I, a Black person and a woman, wants my rights to be respected. I, as a human being with a heart and soul, also wants the interests of Palestinians to be respected. I want the interests of trans people to be respected. I want the interests of immigrants to be respected. I want the interests of poor people to be respected. I want these interests to be respected. And I will vote for you if you respect all of our interests collectively. It is not true that pitting those groups against each other makes Democrats more electable. It's the opposite.
Right.
You can bring people, if you have a big tent, you bring people into the tent by saying, I'm going to protect all of your interests. But every single election cycle, Democrats do the opposite. And they say, if you care about Black people, then you have to vote for Hillary Clinton. Somehow, I don't 100% understand what that logic was, but that's what they said in 2016. Bernie is bad for Blacks. Hillary is good for Blacks. You got to line up. In 2020, it was a different constituency group. Black people have to stop complaining about George Floyd. If you want to protect trans people or Muslim people or against a Muslim ban, let's go with a Muslim ban. If you want to protect Muslim people against a Muslim ban in 2020, you got to say fuck you to the Black people's interests who are protesting in the street. And the irony is now today, they're saying fuck you to the Muslim people's interests because I don't know who, women's reproductive interests, I guess, is the next person on the chopping block. All of this enabled by the fact, by the way, that Obama didn't simply codify a rule like he said he was going to do when he ran in the first instance. So I don't know. I mean, is this duplicative? And I'm sorry for everyone who's now like 3 hours deep into this episode and hearing me say things that I've said before. But this is the crucial point. Like, you are all falling for it. All of you who fell for this like weird Black versus Palestinian war that is clearly a CIA op that was started on the internet like a week or two ago, like, you're falling for it. There's a reason why solidarity as a term, as a word, as a concept is so central to these movements. They are doing divide and conquer, and you effing nincompoops are falling for it hook, line, and sinker, and you're doing it with the self-righteousness of someone who thinks that you're actually protecting somebody else. And when it's the most selfish, small-minded, narrow way you could possibly interpret the status quo. Think for a second about what it would mean to say, yes, we want Kamala to win, and that's why we're going to hold her accountable to stopping a genocide. Polls suggest that she cannot win in these swing states anyway without the support of Muslim and Arab American communities. So I'm not the one that's going to make her lose by voting for Jill Stein. She's making herself lose by choosing to show solidarity not with you, but with a terrorist ethno-state that is killing 200,000 people and has been doing so on a live stream for the last almost 11 months.